Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Well, I don't see the point in waiting any longer. So let's bring her out. The star attraction, the one you came to see. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Miss Judy Gold.
Hello, everyone. This is Judy Gold from Kill Me Now. You know the host. Yeah. So, look, we're doing something new. Hennessy is out for a little bit, and I am bringing in the most amazing... Now, let me tell you a little bit about this person. He's going to be co-hosting with me. His name is JJ, and he was my assistant at the Rosie O'Donnell show. And we had so much fun.
This is true. Yeah.
And I was like, who's on my level? Who is also a 15-year-old boy deep down inside? And it was JJ. And so
it's an excellent comparison.
Don't you think we're like young?
I think two 15-year-old boys. I mean, we really could just sit in here and fart, and that could be a whole show.
I have not pooped today, and I did have...
You're sweating a lot.
I can't with this menopause shit. I can't take it. But I'm also on Effexor, so I don't know if it's...
What does that do?
Antidepressant.
Oh.
Anyway, but oh, fuck. I know, and the menopause plus the subway. Did you take the subway?
I subwayed, yes.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, so JJ...
Not sweating.
Just shut the fuck up. JJ lives in Connecticut. No, he lives in Long Island, but he looks like he lives in Connecticut. And...
I dream to live in Connecticut.
He's wearing a golf... I'll take a photo. Wait.
Please don't.
Why?
Because I think it was so much better.
If they don't know...
They don't
all right,
know.
I'm not... Do
no
I not say your last name?
Ooh, the last name is fine because no one will
all right, JJ Saka. Sakawakagia.
Nailed it.
Yeah, JJ's from Georgia
the
originally.
Great state of Georgia.
And mother. Oh wait, hold on, JJ. I have to get this out of my bag.
Is it going to be a picture? Well, she's pulling something out of her bag.
Yes.
It's going to be
It's
drugs. It's drugs.
No, it's the Jew bell, and JJ's mother is Jewish. But they don't they're not real Jews.
Well, Southern Jews, so it's true. I mean, I learned all about Judaism from my Catholic wife.
Really? Because she's from Long Island.
She's from Long Island. I don't know.
Is she Catholic? Like, does she go to church?
Yeah.
Does the priest molest her?
I don't think any police molested her, but there might have been some in that parish. Who knows?
I know.
They're everywhere.
And she's still into it?
She has problems with it, but the decision was to give our kids something.
And you couldn't go. You couldn't go.
How can I do that? I don't know anything about Judaism.
Your mother, really. I need to have a we did go out to dinner once, and she was very lovely. All right. So JJ suggested, we used to produce segments together. I did all the work, and he took all the credit. So JJ, we had lunch, and I was like, JJ, will you do this with me? He was like,
Judy had lunch.
Oh, yeah. He had already eaten. I was starving, and I was like, we were going to get coffee. And I said, no, let's go to Motorino Pizza instead. And he was like, fuck you. I just had a Lenwich sandwich.
That's true.
And I would have had Motorino Pizza.
I would have loved to have Motorino.
But what was good is they made my pizza wrong. And so I was like, oh, it's fine. And she's like, no, I'm getting you another pizza. So that was my dinner 2 nights later.
Classic move. You were so passive-aggressive.
I was not.
That's fine. Yeah,
I was not.
She had no choice but to bring you out another
pizza.
I
was like, no, it's fine. Shut the fuck up. Wow. I didn't. Wait.
Can you turn my headphones down?
Shut up. Okay. So JJ said, why don't we start? It's Kill Me Now. Why don't we talk about your neurotic,
You. Let's talk about you.
Yeah. in the beginning, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the guest. And then at the end, we'll have the Well, we'll surprise you at the end.
Now, is the show's title is
Kill Me Now
with Judy Gold?
Yes.
Or it is Kill Me Now with Judy Gold?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. No, that's good to know.
Why? What do you mean? You could. There might be an addition.
I don't want an addition. I'm just curious if.
Well, no one can know what you look like.
That is useful, I think, for you.
Okay. Okay, so there are two things I want to Kill Me Now moments. And the first one I already told you about. I said, I did a gig Thursday night, which I've done. This is the third year I've done the same gig. It's a hosting gig. And they always have a check for me. And they did not have a check for me. Not only did they not have the check for me, he's like, I can pay you by credit card, like I'm a fucking store. like I have a little
ATM
swipe
machine,
thing.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I have, you're going to pay me by credit card.
Yeah, here,
nice.
You just slide that between my ass.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So then I had to, he's like, I'll PayPal you. So then I had to set up a whole fucking PayPal.
Oh, what a fucking annoying thing to do.
I know.
Although now that you've done it, I mean, people could pay you that way. Do you have to pay?
But I have Venmo.
Do you have to pay a fee if?
Yes, I made them pay the fee.
They have to pay the fee.
Yeah, it was large. Okay, so then this is my other thing. And I was going to tweet about it, but this literally, it was like a divine intervention. I'm getting in the subway, okay? And I see this older gentleman with a kosher marketplace bag.
How old?
I'm going to go 70s.
Okay.
And really big stomach,
Right.
And slobby Jewish, like breadcrumbs on the face, and fat stomach.
Huge. Now, I don't mean to interrupt you, but it's so much fun.
Shut up.
If this guy were to get on the subway, you're waiting on the platform. Is he a guy?
Oh, no, I'm coming down the steps.
You're coming down the steps. But if this guy were to be waiting on the platform with you, is he a guy who at all costs is going to get a seat, like he's going to shove whomever out of the way to sit down?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he's that guy.
All right. Yeah, just gross, okay? Yeah. And eating, all right, we'll wait till that's the later part. All right, so I'm coming down the stairs, and he's standing at the bottom of the stairs, and I see that he's fiddling with his pants zipper. And I see a little skin, and I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? And then I guess I walked away, and I guess he pulled it out and peed, right? And I was about to tell the, people in the booth.
Right.
I did have a little bit of, he's Jewish, and I shouldn't say anything, but I didn't care. Right. And then I wanted to say, fuck you, you fucking pig, whatever. So then we get on the subway, and he starts eating a fucking Danish from the kosher marketplace. Okay?
He definitely didn't wash his hands.
Right. And I just was like, I hated him so much. And I'm sitting in the car, and it made me realize that this summer, it made me think about this. This summer, I was riding my bike in Provincetown, and we're going, not on Commercial Street, but it was like, we're going on a street that is like an off street, but it's a street, and we're riding our bike to get to Commercial Street, which is the main drag in Provincetown. And there's a guy standing there peeing. And I go, really? I mean, because there's a public bathroom literally across the street. I go, really? That's and he was right. It's right there. I said, you can't, there's no other place for you to do that. You have to blah, blah. And I was like, disgusting. And he didn't say anything. And then I was parking my bike. I was locking up my bike, and he comes over, excuse me. And I said, what? And he's like, older gentleman, not older, but maybe like 60s. All right. And then he says, when you have a prostate problem and you have to pee wherever you can find a space. And initially I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then I was like, fuck you, you fucking white entitled. You know what? Wear a diaper. I had fucking blood gushing out of me every month since I'm fucking 13 years old, and I wore a pad and a tampon, okay? So then it made me think of this, and it's like, fuck you. You have a prostate problem. There are other ways. You don't have to whip your dick out in front of everyone. I'm sorry. It pissed me the fuck off. No pun intended.
Here is my takeaway.
Yeah.
From these two stories.
Yeah.
You've seen 2 cocks this
Right.
year, and that's is that record?
Shut the fuck up.
In the last, I don't know, however many years?
Whatever. But don't you think? No.
I think there's no excuse for
Right.
pulling it out and peeing in public. There's always somewhere to go. There's always a way to be discreet.
Right. And
the
he's
benefit,
like,
the benefit
yeah.
of being a man.
Is that you can whip it out.
Yeah, but you can go. You go behind a tree. You go
Right.
behind. I mean, you can disappear in all sorts of places to take a piss.
Right.
So if you don't,
Like in
there's
the
no
fuck
excuse.
at the bottom of the stairs of the subway.
That's an exhibitionist, right? I mean, the only
With a
reason
kosher marketplace bag.
right.
So he's got a
Because
fucking brisket.
It's a really hot look.
And it's
a really hot look.
I know. I'm sorry. Like, and I feel like because I was a woman, I felt bad.
Yeah, I think anyone should feel bad. That's gross.
No, I felt bad when he was like, I have a prostate
that
problem.
guy. Yeah,
fuck you.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
All right.
And you know what? He found you after the event.
Right. To tell me.
You that he had a prostate problem because he did not have a prostate problem. That was an attempt to make you feel bad for
Really?
having. Oh, absolutely. That guy doesn't have a prostate
He looked like he
problem.
had a prostate problem.
He might have, but I think it's made up. I think that's total horseshit. That's like
Well,
what we
he
do.
was acting like it was my fault he had a prostate problem. He was like, when you have a... And I felt like saying, why don't you fucking push a kid out of your twat, asshole?
It's not a good move. I don't recommend it for people, but it's not so dissimilar to moments where I'm in a restaurant and I'm tired of waiting and I say things like, I'm a diabetic. So if you could just
You do?
speed this up a little bit.
No, you don't.
Yeah, well, then they come real fast. You know, they don't need
You're
that.
lying. Do you ever do that?
I have done it.
That's a good one.
It is good. It works.
Do you think you'll become a diabetic from that?
No, but not from that. But it could be other things.
Wait, I could do like I have blood sugar. What's another good excuse?
You see, low blood sugar is just a bullshit excuse.
Yeah,
you have to
yeah.
actually go full diabetes. You know, you have to say,
Right.
I have a pump. You know, no one's going
Right.
to see it.
Oh, we're getting a phone call. Oh, it's our guest. Okay, hold on. We'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. You chose to hit play on this podcast today. Smart choice. Make another smart choice with Auto Quote Explorer to compare rates from multiple car insurance companies all at once. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
We're back. We're back with our guest. I just got a text. Let's see who that. I keep the phone on, Murray. Oh, I'm not supposed to say who it is yet. I keep the phone on in case my kids call because we always put real phone calls. Oh, due to urgent track repairs, there's no W train service between Queen. What the fuck is going on?
Cynthia Nixon didn't get elected.
I
That's
know.
what's
God
happening.
damn it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you recognize that voice. If you don't, you will. How was that? That was good.
Showbiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, JJ, do you want to say it since you're the incredible?
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Murray Hill.
Yeah, Murray Hill!
Wow, that guy sounds deep.
Yeah, isn't that good? Murray Hill is our guest. I'm so excited, Murray. Wait, we're so excited to have you. This is our first show together, me and JJ.
This guy's great.
Yeah.
Too bad the audience can't see that
Oh,
he's
no,
wearing
I'm
a golf
very-
shirt.
I'm
Yeah, I
very
already told
pleased with
them.
that.
And also, he was my assistant at Rosie.
Oh, my goodness.
And then he was Nora Ephron's assistant. And she died, so now he's back with me.
So now you're doing podcasts. Kids,
That's
everything's
right.
looking up.
Now
Yeah,
he's
it's
right. He's a
really
writer.
well.
He's really. But we just love each other. I mean,
do.
well, I love him. I don't know about him.
Yeah, it's, you know, we'll get there.
Shut up. Anyway, Murray, showbiz.
I'm happy to see you. You know, Judy, I don't really, do too many things before 6 p.m. So,
Right.
So this
Thank
is
you
how
for
much
doing
I love
this.
you.
Thank you for doing this.
Known you for a long time.
Yeah. So Murray, I saw you at Rachel Feinstein's wedding, which was a blast.
I'm so happy she got married.
I know he's a nice guy. That was the funniest wedding in the entire world.
She did the best set at her,
I know.
at her own
She
vows.
wrote it out. She did her vows as a set.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And
Yeah.
looked at the crowd.
How long
Yeah.
was the set?
Tight
12.
7.
Oh, you think? Oh, yeah, maybe an 8, maybe 7, 8. I don't know. It seemed longer. Yeah, he wrote out a whole beautiful thing, and then she was like doing a set and then looking at the crowd for laughs.
Can't escape.
It was great.
Was the husband funny?
Yeah, he was really funny and so cute and like just classy, and he's a
Has
captain.
a job?
Captain in the fire department.
Wow.
Yeah.
When a comedian gets married, it's amazing because it doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah, I know. And they usually don't stay married. But anyway,
do you go to more divorce parties?
Well, they do that on stage. Murray.
Yes, Judy.
Murray, you got a show at Joe's Pub, which, I want anyone in New York to go see. I'm going to see it. I'm so excited. But, the podcast, we talk about life here. I don't know if they told you. So, Murray, where you were born in Ohio? Wait, where were you born? No, you were born...
Ohio? The hell are you talking about?
No,
I'm a New England guy.
Oh, that's right. Who the
hell do you know that was born in Ohio?
No, because I was
Don't hang out with them.
No, I was reading something and I fucking fuck that. All right, I made a mistake. You were born in New England.
Yeah.
She does a lot of research.
I do. I did. I actually wrote it down, but then I didn't look at my notes. I don't know why I said that. Shut the fuck up. Whatever. So you were born. Where in New England? Which of the states?
Massachusetts. Believe it or not.
That's the New Englandiest.
Yeah, that's why it's like a blanket term. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I spent a lot of time there.
Yeah.
Then I put some more time in Connecticut and couldn't wait to get the hell out of there. And then I went back to Boston for college.
Where'd you go to college?
Boston University.
Oh, very nice. Did you graduate?
Yes. And then I got the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And came to New York for grad school.
Where?
School of Visual Arts.
Oh, that's right. We're going to get to that.
And then once I hit New York, that was it.
So
never went back.
When you were now I'm going to share something. When I was a little girl, I used to go home from school. I was a latchkey child. And I would put on my father's clothes. I would try on his ties.
Is that before you came out as a full-blown lesbian?
Yeah, full-blown. It was just a little bit of the virus, and then it became full-blown. No, I was a little kid. I was like, and I know you dressed up at 9.
Yeah,
right?
very young. Very
right.
young.
Yeah, I was about that. And I just wanted, but I did start getting my hair cut really short. I always wanted boy haircuts. Starting at like 4 or 5. I was like, no, I'm done with this shit.
Was your hair crazy? I mean, it must have been.
No, it was.
Wasn't it? It wasn't like big, curly, gigantic?
It wasn't, because, I don't know, it was short. It wasn't. It was never, because it's kind of not thick Jewy hair. It's thin Jewy hair.
Oh.
But, yeah, I wanted to be a boy. I wanted to mow the lawn. I did not want to I had no dolls. I had, like, little cars in the basement. I wanted to play kick the can. You
remember home ec class? Did they split it up like that when you were a kid?
They had home ec.
Shop and home ec.
I
do shop.
I did shop. I got to do shop in 7th grade, and when I bought my house in Provincetown, okay, I'm not kidding, my mother gave me these candlesticks that I made in shop class in 7th grade.
Your mother knew you were gay. Were they lavender candlesticks?
No, they were not lavender. They were wood. Anyway, so what was your childhood like? Mother, father?
Mother, father.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of religion.
Like what religion?
Right-wing Catholic business.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And
siblings?
I got a brother.
Uh-huh.
And some cousins and stuff. Yeah, the family thing didn't work out so well, Judy.
Yeah.
So I got the hell out of there.
But that happens a lot.
That happens a lot. Especially when you're a little different.
Right.
Yeah, I think it happens a lot with comics, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it does. And I think, I could say something really, but I think Jews have less of a, hard time than the Catholics with that. No?
About leaving?
About acceptance.
Oh, well,
there are I'm not talking about the orthies. I'm not talking about the guy who was peeing in the fucking subway today. I'm talking about, I don't know. All right, whatever. Maybe not. Okay, so is your brother old? Your brother's older.
Yep.
Does he have do you talk to him?
No, I don't talk to anybody.
Do you feel bad about that?
No, I've spent about $4 million on therapy.
Yeah,
Judy,
and it's also
years.
like most people. JJ is a privileged white male.
I can see that.
True.
Yeah, and it's like people don't realize that most people who are in the LGBT of our generation of the LGBTQ community created their own families.
Yeah,
because either they were in the closet or, it was like, fuck you, you're different. Because you asked to be born. I remember you asked to be born, as I did. And I said, when I'm born, please make me a lesbian because my life will be so much fucking easier.
Yeah, let's just make this as difficult as possible and we'll give it a try.
Now, were you popular in school or did they shun you? Were you in the theater?
Well, that's the cliche, comedy start, right?
Right.
Is, home life was disastrous, dark, all that stuff. And then in school, I was very popular.
I bet you were.
Told jokes. I did sports.
Right.
I was like, early on, I had a double life, so to speak. And that definitely became, Murray, and then that became a career. But, yeah, so, I was, no problems in school. Everything was fine. Everything was fun.
Good student?
Good student. Very ambitious. I was an art school student.
Wow.
And I think they used to have these things, this is so dated, but, I'm a little older. They used to have these spirit weeks, like homecoming week.
Oh, they still have them. My daughter is in the midst of one right now.
No way. Yeah. What is it? So you went to Catholic school?
No, I went to I did all that CCD, CYO shit.
Oh, all right.
But Spirit Week is like you have a different thing each day to get ready for the big game.
Yeah, for the homecoming games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one of them was Opposite Sex Day.
Oh, I would have loved that.
Yeah, so I basically looked exactly like I do now, but skinnier.
Right.
So I did the full blown, mustache,
AIDS.
tie.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's gay men.
I know. Oh, right. Sorry. No, that's the Jew bell.
Oh shit!
We
I didn't know.
We can do gay. It's all right. Go ahead.
Show this. Yeah. So I did the full thing, and I walked around school, dressed as a guy the whole time, and I'll never forget my art teacher. She's an interesting person. Her name was Mrs. DeCosmo.
Mm-hmm.
She smoked under the side of her mouth. And she pulled me over and she goes, you know what? You look better as a guy.
No way.
Yeah. So it was like early seed planting.
What did that make you? What?
That's so difficult to. How does one even know how to respond to a comment?
Yeah,
like
but
that?
were you happy she said that?
Well,
inside.
JJ looks young, but back then
he's not.
We didn't have
It's a shaved head. Yeah.
We didn't have internet or words.
Right.
So I didn't know anything. I didn't even know what gay was. Or any of that stuff. So I felt more comfortable, dressed as a guy. And I didn't know a damn thing about anything.
Right.
So it just felt more comfortable.
Did you feel validated or like?
Maybe more seen.
Right.
Because people, especially back then, they look at you, they definitely looked at the boys and the girls different.
Right.
I mean, they still do, but.
Really?
But,
not in stand-up. Guys, come on.
Yeah, it's great scene, the stand-up scene. So, and then for like book reports and things like that.
Right.
I would never read any of the books. I would just show up as the character. So I pretty much.
That's the best. Yeah, like, what were some of your characters?
Mark Twain.
Oh, I love it.
Wagner.
You did? Did you have a swastika around for Wagner? All right, no. So.
And you ready for this? And I put it in the show. My first drag performance was Schneider.
Oh yes, I wrote that down. Schneider from One Day at a Time.
One Day at a Time. I literally did the
with
whole
the
thing.
Cigarettes and the sleeves rolled up and everything.
The
tool belt,
the mustache, the tool belt.
I've
been doing this for a while.
Can I tell you something about Schneider? When I went to sleepaway camp, Jewy camp, I remember one of the kids' parents was friends with Schneider, and I thought it was like the biggest showbiz connection ever. Because I was growing up in New Jersey, I was like, wow, Schneider. Schneider,
the great character actor.
Great character.
I know.
A terrific theme song too.
Yeah.
Well, the theme song. We're going to play it in the show.
One day. What is it?
This is it.
This is it. Yeah.
One day at a time. But
this is it.
Judy, you got to hit the high note. You can do it.
Wait.
This is it. This is it.
Yeah, I love that. I put that in my show, the Judy Show, My Life's a Sitcom. Of course, I can't remember anything because I'm going through menopause.
Me too. Right. And then the joke now is, because we put it in this show, One Day at a Time, is
the
my
alcoholics.
Told me. Yeah, my therapist told me that also.
But isn't it I'm sure it was based on that. No? All right, whatever.
Well, looking at that cast, probably.
So you go in now, what are your parents saying while you're like, I have a book report on Mark Twain, I'm going to dress up like Mark Twain?
They didn't know anything.
You'd get dressed at school?
Oh yeah.
And then go home and look, Did you get teased?
Look like a chubby boy.
Yeah.
I didn't get, this is the thing, I didn't get teased as these characters.
Right.
So it's, planting the foundation work
right.
for Murray. But I would always get teased, and through jokes and being popular and stuff. The kids at school didn't bother me, but it was everybody else. Looking like a boy,
right?
Chubby, all that stuff.
Right. I mean, I got teased by it was horrible. I couldn't even walk down the hall.
Yeah, it's just
and then I'd go home. Yeah, it was nonstop. Bigfoot, Sasquatch. Okay, so shut up. It still pains me. So were you in the play? Like, did you have any extracurricular? Did you? I feel like Trump when he says anonymous. Anonymous. Did you have any extracurricular activities? I was in the marching band, so I was like a big nerd. But
well, Judy, you're not going to believe this based on my appearance, but I was a jock.
No way.
Yeah. So, back then you couldn't do sports and theater at the same time.
Right.
So, I think it was like 7th grade or something.
Don't tell me field hockey, because that's what I did in 7th grade. All right, go.
Lacrosse.
Wow.
New England.
Yeah, and did you walk around with your stick and the ball and you would spin it? Yeah, basketball. Are you good?
Oh, yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. I got suspended for partying at homecoming, and I got kicked off all the teams.
No.
But the badminton team took me in.
Wow.
Because they're all nerds and totally desperate for
I
teammates.
love badminton.
Well, I went on there, and this is kind of my first kind of like stage
How old are
experience.
you at this point?
Oh, God, I don't know. Maybe freshman year.
Okay.
And, they were like, oh, can you speak at the pep rally? Because badminton had never had any representation.
No presence.
At the pep rally. So that's kind of the first time I remember like getting up in front of a crowd and being like, there was like an empty square where all the banners were.
Right.
And I said, everybody look at that square, that empty square. Badminton's bringing home the banner. And we did. We're
no way.
State champions.
That's fucking awesome.
Badminton.
Wait, do they have different positions in badminton?
No.
Because you serve, and it's like volleyball, right?
It's one-on-one. You can have doubles, but
it's one-on-one?
Yeah, it's like a real
right.
Yeah, play
sport.
more like tennis.
Yeah, I know.
Only nothing can bounce.
Right. Wow, you fucking brought it home, baby.
Yeah, fucking state champion
That
badminton
is awesome.
player.
Wow. And are your parents involved in like your school shit? Like, my mother, constantly involved in every aspect of my schoolwork and
yeah, no.
But were they? But you were getting good grades. Like that's what I love. Like kids whose parents are so not interested in their, and yet they are like, I'm gonna get good grades and I'm gonna.
Well, I knew
you weren't lazy.
No, I knew. Well, everybody was very ambitious where I grew up, but
right.
I knew that I had to get out. It was a very unconscious kind of thing.
Sure. Yeah.
So but you know how they hammer you in school. You get good grades, you go to college, you do all that stuff. So I just did as much stuff as I could to stay out of home.
Right.
And did it well. So I just was, I overcompensated. I was a perfectionist.
When was the first time you came to New York?
I came to New York when I was, I think, in high school, and I used to be
Excellent
so
question,
scared of
JJ.
it. Scared of you. Remember?
You were scared?
Well,
it was scary then.
Well,
Let's think about what it.
I don't know. I used to come all the time because my mother was.
That's what your wife said.
Hey, now, good night, folks.
Good morning.
My wife. Go ahead.
By the way, it's fucking hot as hell in here. But
really
sorry,
hot.
But the shirt's plastic, so I'm dying. But anyway, when you would go to New York trips from New England, they would drop you off at 42nd Street. You'd see a show and all that
right.
stuff. So that's the only New York I knew, and that was the 80s.
Right. Oh, horrible.
And the subways were all graffiti.
Oh,
remember
please.
that?
I remember going to the Improv on 44th and 9th in the 80s. It was like... It was so, just needles.
Yeah, no, that's all I saw up there. So I was like, ugh.
Yeah. But thank God for, for Giuliani. All right, so you go, did they pay for your college? Your parents?
Judy, getting in there deep. I got to college.
Yeah.
And then, so they paid for that first semester.
Right.
And then...
you were like, go fuck yourselves?
No, well, it was very complicated back then. But
right.
I had a teacher... I had teachers have supported me from day one.
Right.
And they worked with me to get independent status. Do you remember that? I forget what it's called. It's got a name. You can't get it till you're a certain age, but they let me get it. So then I had the real estrangement in place.
Wow.
And then I paid
Any
for her
crying
gas.
or anything through this?
Oh no, just pure drinking and denial.
Oh, good.
And then comedy.
That's healthy.
Yeah, I'm very healthy.
So have you seen them at all?
I have seen that my father passed away, and I did go back to the funeral.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you welcomed?
Yeah, I mean,
right.
it was it was awkward.
Yeah.
But this Catholic guilt is a real thing.
Oh yeah, I know.
So I felt it was.
I think Catholic Catholic guilt is bad because it's so like you can't touch yourself. You can't. It's like, oh my God. Like Jewish guilt is like, you didn't eat my pot roast. I worked so hard and you didn't call. But
yeah,
Catholic is
guilt's
fucking
insane.
mental.
Yeah. You can't even think about stuff.
Right.
It's a sin to think about
sin.
it.
Right.
Well, I don't want to. I'm not going to mention my mother's name, but she did say, I tried to come out to her, and I there was like 3 things I had to say to her, and I didn't even get to any of them. And she goes, "You're a sinner."
Oh.
All the whole,
It's such a, you know what I think it is? People are lazy and they want other people to think for them or tell them how to think, or you know what I mean? All right, no. Okay, so.
But I have a question.
Yeah.
Because for people who aren't from the New York area, such as myself, explain the School of Visual Arts.
Well, Sorry.
showbiz.
Yes,
Showbiz.
Explain. But when you go to the School of Visual Arts, it's not. It's different than going to just grad school. I mean, you're surrounded by.
Oh yeah. This is after BU.
Yes, after BU,
but
School of Visual Arts.
When you did you go right to the School for Visual Arts?
Yeah. Now I was. You're gonna love this, Judy. I was taking photographs. I was in art school. Did some art major in undergrad, and I was taking photographs of drag queens.
Oh,
in
nice.
Boston. And guess who was performing when I was a young little student down at Commonwealth Avenue?
Who?
It was Lip Synca.
No
Bunny,
way.
Girlina.
Lady Bunny?
Yeah.
Lady Bunny was a guest, yes.
Yeah, and I pretended I was a journalist for the Boston Phoenix. And I snuck into these clubs and I photographed them as
That's
part of a
fucking
project.
awesome.
I still have it.
Did you have like a notepad and stuff?
I had a real camera with
Right.
film.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Camera bag.
And when you take pictures of
That's
them,
brilliant.
are you taking pictures of them just performing or getting ready to
No,
perform?
I actually
or
got
you're-
backstage with
That's fantastic.
Oh, they were so awful to me. It's hilarious.
Really? Did
Yeah,
you
but-
did you ever publish the photos or?
Yep, and I've now I know all of them.
Right.
And my Lip Synca photo is like one of my favorites. That was like on my thesis.
Of course.
That was part of my thesis. So it's interesting. So when I was taking photographs of Boston, I moved to New York to go to grad school to continue that work. But then I went to Wigstock at Labor Day weekend. The first days I moved to New York, and I said,
Right.
"Oh, everyone's doing that." So
Right.
That's
You didn't
really
feel
where
special.
I had the
Yeah.
epiphany.
Right.
Right.
I'm like, "What's on the other side?"
Right.
So I started
Did you
taking
feel
pictures of
less
drag kings.
alone or did you feel
Underrepresented, invisible, which
Right.
has been part of our community's issues
Yeah.
from day one,
Yeah.
and still is happening.
is still, yeah. Especially for drag kings versus you know what I find interesting? I was thinking
Lots
about
of
this when I
things.
was
You always talk about them.
Shut up.
What a great co-host.
I know. The fact that, women are treated like shit in this country, okay? But yet, when a man dresses as a woman, that's acceptable. But when a woman dresses as a man, like when I did the all-female Taming of the Shrew, and I played a man, and
Very good performance.
thank
by the
you,
way.
Gremio, and I did. They actually in this particular whatchamacallit?
Production.
Oh yeah. I'm so fucking I can't remember any words. Production. I did a stand up as that character, and so many men would get, and even the reviews of the show. It was like, because the director made us become men. It wasn't like you're playing a man. You are a man. We took, we had all these classes in how to stand and what it's like to have a wiener, and we really worked on our physicality so that it wasn't like this, you're playing a guy, you are a guy. And men would get so annoyed because they can't look at themselves and realize they're fucking assholes.
Well, I dealt with
How do you
that.
feel?
I'm in 100% agreement.
Oh,
with
all right,
everything
go ahead.
You just said.
Shut up. Go ahead.
I was just in Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
For 4 weeks, and it was
Is
the
that
longest,
your first time?
Yeah, longest
How
4
was
weeks
it?
of my life.
Yeah.
And it's what you're talking about. It was insane.
Right.
It's like drag queens, guys in beards with heels, no problem, walking around selling out. It's just like this phenomena. It's like crazy. And then I'm in there with my plaid suit, and it's like I don't get a pass in any way.
Right.
It's just like, what the fuck is this? Wait, it was somehow Murray Hill.
Right.
Looking the way I look is too real.
Right.
Or it's too...
And also...
It's crazy.
What about all these fucking, Harvey fucking asshole Weinstein? He's a fat, ugly pig, And he thinks he's entitled to, fuck whatever... that's what I don't get. They have no self-awareness, these guys.
None.
Well, those men had great power.
Right.
Some of the ones you're talking
right.
about.
No,
to go along with being hideous creatures.
But still, if I would still had that much power, I would still go, oh, I'm fat, or, I need, whatever. Okay. So you graduate, you go to the School of Visual Arts to get a master's?
Yeah.
And photography is your special. This is what you're studying primarily is photography at this point?
Yeah. Well, they called it, this is also dated, but they called it photography and media.
Really?
Yes.
When there was no media?
The 90s.
Okay.
So that's when I said, what's on the other side? And there was drag king pageants happening at Hershey Bar. Do you remember that?
Hershey Bar, yeah.
Yeah, the meatpacking district.
Yeah.
And that was like a heavy scene. And it was like all about passing.
Right.
Very urban, masculinity. And it was like, there was no comedy or camp, which I had seen,
right.
The drag queens do in Boston. So it's one thing after another kind of happened, but I wanted to bring camp and ridiculousness to this, playing a guy that I hadn't seen.
But Lily had, right? Lily Tomlin had.
Yeah. But that was a character.
It was a character, and it was political, and politically motivated. And yours is, why can't I be as fun and crazy and
roasting.
Campy, as these guys who are playing with, they're acting bitchy, and getting away with it, and why can't I? Which I totally, you're right. So your thesis, as I learned, you ran against Giuliani for mayor. That was your thesis.
Yeah, I ran for mayor of New York in '96.
As Murray Hill.
Murray for mayor. I campaigned. And I've always been like this too, and it's probably just who I am too, but I've always campaigned outside in the straight world and the gay world. So I've always had,
I've crossed over too from the gay
you certainly have.
Hey, thank you.
Showbiz. But you remember in the '90s, they were shutting down all the clubs and sending in the fire marshals for dancing.
Right.
Yes.
So my platform was let the kids dance.
Right.
So that was
Wait, and did you have posters and
full blown.
Did you have a campaign manager?
Yes, I had a campaign manager. I did the floats. I had posters, video, all kinds
That's
of stuff.
awesome.
Campaign shows.
Too bad you couldn't do a debate with that fucking asshole.
Oh God,
he's turned.
Well, he was way quote unquote better then.
Yeah.
But.
Well, isn't it interesting though when we look back on Giuliani now and all the signs were there for this behavior that we see now? He was always this guy.
Right.
He just wanted to get in New York.
Well, somehow we give him a bit of a pass because of 9/11.
9/11,
right? But his approval rating was shit before that happened.
Well, everyone gave George Bush a pass at 9/11 too.
Well,
and they're giving him one now.
Yeah,
I know.
Well,
what the fuck?
Yeah, that's
People
how
are
far
like,
we've
oh,
gotten.
and it's like, do you remember? I remember being, I don't know if I was as angry as I am now when I look at but it was similar. The anger.
I think it's exactly the same.
Yeah. I mean,
because can you become more angry? I think you reached.
You're asking Judy that?
Yeah, I think.
You didn't do your research.
No, I think she. But I think she has achieved the most anger. The max amount of anger one can hold. You've done it.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Oh wait, is this one of the? It's unknown.
Don't answer that.
See who it is.
No, I can't. I hate that. That's my Ringer is the Mary Tyler Moore. I hate when people say unknown. I hate that.
I'm
Just
not
fucking tell me who you are. Okay, so you run for mayor. How many votes did you get?
341.
Wow, that's good.
Writings. Now, this is before Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. We made paper flyers.
Did you go stand on the corner and shake people's hands?
Oh yeah, I've got pictures of me with babies and sailors.
Oh, I fucking love that.
Yeah, it was full blown.
That's great. 341.
I think it was a vote for Murray is a vote for you.
I love it.
Show this.
That's great. All right, so and that was your thesis. So I'm sure you got.
Well, the thesis. I mean, that was kind of the embodiment of it. The thesis, which 500 years later I'm still doing, was trying to raise the visibility level.
Right.
And it's I've been around so long, so I'm still at it, but it's still so imbalanced. I mean, it's
for sure.
It's almost worse now.
Right. Now you, Murray Hill is a person. I think people don't realize that you have a past. You have become this real. So Murray was born in a cab, apparently in the Murray Hill section of New York, correct?
Yep.
And I feel like you cannot be a character, quote unquote, unless you've done that work. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think you are Murray Hill.
Yeah, I mean, it's been over 20 years now.
Yeah.
And I think the thing about, not to segue into the show at Joe's
Now we're
Pub,
going to go to the show at Joe's Pub.
But, I've hosted, I've done shtick, I'm a better looking Rickles.
Right.
But this show, I got a grant from Joe's
I know,
Pub.
I wrote that down.
So.
You are the, New York Voices grant from the Public Theater.
Yeah, so this is the first time, Judy,
You feel legitimized.
No, I'll never feel legitimized.
Oh, right,
but showbiz. But I'm doing some stuff about the past.
Right.
Where Murray comes from, kind of, and I'm working with Scott Whitman, who's great, and he's always like, Mary. He calls me Mary. Mary, the truth. Because
but that is true.
Yeah, and I tried to block out my past, but then I realized it's not, there's so much there that informs Murray. So now this is kind of integrating everything.
Right. And the truth really is the most fascinating and the funniest. Like when comics are telling bullshit stories, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they're fucking fake. Okay. So after you started performing in the East Village, Fez, right?
Oh, before that, it was Flamingo East on First Avenue and 13th Street, and then Cake.
Oh yeah, Cake
on B, I think.
And people don't realize what the East Village was like.
Oh, there are great drugs over there.
But this is like during Rent. This was when, it was.
Every night I was performing every single night in a queer club somewhere.
Right.
And a straight club. It was just, every night it was cooking.
Right. And there are less queer clubs now than there.
I like to say, Judy, in the old days when I would walk around East Village at 2 o'clock in the morning, be like, hey, Murray, how are you? All the people. And now, I walk around as Murray and they're like, what the fuck is that? I get heckled. So that's kind of the difference between
it's like, fuck you.
But isn't that interesting, though? I mean, because we like to think that we're far more progressive now.
Right.
We are.
But like you said, the neighborhoods changed so much. Do you know, downtown was downtown then? Do you know that's who lived down there? And if you walked all the way to the west side, for instance, at Christopher Street and, way west, and that was something that doesn't exist anymore. Right.
I mean, two gay guys got shot, on
Crazy.
Christopher Street last year. What the fuck is going on? So are you making money at this point doing you're in the East Village? Do you have another job? How are you living?
When I first started, I had a tech job.
Really?
This is the first bubble. And people don't even remember it. So when the whole thing blew up and crashed, I got laid off and I never went back to work after that. So that's been since 2001.
And you had a tech job you go to an office every day.
Oh, I had a full-blown 9 to 5.
And what would you wear to the office?
Pants and a T-shirt. Showbiz.
And did you say Murray?
No.
Oh.
This was all. It's all happening at the same time.
Right.
I remember using.
Did they know Murray?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was doing Murray in grad school, so from grad school I got the corporate job. Yeah, they would all come. I would use the office printers and stuff to make flyers.
We've got to report that.
Catholic guilt. Yeah. There it is. I'm so bad. I fucking used them.
And they came and they loved it.
Yeah.
No one ever treated you like shit in that office.
No.
Oh, good.
It's just everybody else.
So then all right. So then 2001, everything changes, and you're not doing your tech job. Where are you working? Like, where are you going? I remember after 9/11, like, it was so hard to do stand up. Like, it was all our Bush jokes we couldn't do. Nothing was fucking funny. I remember trying to get on stage, and it was just awful. It was like, ugh, I don't even want to laugh. You know? Did you have the same?
I did a show like 2 days after on 8th Street because everything was closed.
Right.
All the streets were closed. So it was kind of
8th Street is way downtown. Yeah.
It was kind of what it was like a family gathering. You talked a little bit about the family stuff, and it was. And that's kind of what show business is for me. It was like everybody just got together, and we were in this, we didn't even use these words back then, safe space.
Ugh,
and it was all the weirdos, the misfits, and we were there together drinking. We did a show, and it was really like we were trying to have hope in like such darkness back then.
What your thoughts on drag king versus transgender? Like, all right, so this is why I'm bringing this up. I have, I'm 55. I know I look fantastic. I have a lot of friends in their 50s and some in their 60s who are, like, annoyed that so many butch lesbians are transitioning because it's like, what happened to being a butch lesbian? Like, what happened to that? That was great. Why do you have to then transition like that? It's sort of becoming like, I don't know,
it's so a generational thing, and it's like I think the kids today don't even have any idea how we think about stuff. Right. Like there's just no
nor do they care.
No,
because it's all about them.
Yeah, and we're the bad guy for having thoughts that we had to live a certain way because we had to hide or had to be a butcher, had to, we didn't have choices or being, all that stuff. But I mean, I get a lot. The kids always, how do I identify? How do I, are you this?
Yeah, that's what I really wanted to talk to you about because, I do jokes about this in my act because I find it so fucking annoying, and. Like these labels, I have to be this. And it's like, no, you can be you. You don't have to have a fucking name for it. I got canceled at a gig in South Carolina because of a joke I do about transgenders and the names, like the he, him, she, her, they, them. And meanwhile, I make fun of everyone in my act. So you should be like, happy that I just treat you like everyone else, but yet
no, it's bananas.
Isn't it crazy? And we work so fucking hard. We work so hard so that we could just be out, and now you're like
policing. But when people, when the kids give me crap for saying trans jokes, I'm like, who are you looking at?
Right.
Like, are you serious?
And why are you exempt from being, made fun of? And I have friends who are like, well, they're in a very sensitive situation. So was I.
Yeah. I have this joke, Judy.
What? You're not saying anything?
No, I think
he doesn't know what we're talking about.
In full agreement. It's where's the sense of humor? Do you
know
what I mean?
But also,
there's always that. Like, you do not discriminate. Everyone gets nailed.
Right. Same with you.
Yeah. And I do it anyway, even though people.
You have to. I kind of like it better when they're like hateful. Like I had two people from Texas with a big cross in the front row, and I did a Trump joke. This is Friday night, And I look, because you can tell, I'm like, oh, you like him, The woman was like, I said, he's like I'm fascinated. Like, he's the dumbest, most horrible human being. Like, he's not even Republican, Democrat, whatever. It's that he's a fucking disgusting, like, liar, And it's like they just, okay. And then I just start, right. But then I'll just go into Jew. I'm a Jew. I'm a dyke. I just went, but I read that when you get on stage and there are people in the audience who don't get it, you go right after them.
Yeah, I just did that this weekend. Bridget Everett and
I love
were down in Virginia doing a gala.
Uh-huh.
And it was, 99.9% straight, white, rich people. And they were just like, but I went for it. I really went for it.
But did they, like, when you go to those things, right, don't they know what they're hiring, or...
Well, it's always that thing. They know what they're hiring. They want the excitement and the reputation and all that stuff. But then
that we're so fucking cool. Right. Yeah, I remember in the 90s, one of my straight, entitled, married friends said, we just went to see Rent, and we really understand. I'm like, no, you don't. Go visit my friend who's like, can't fucking breathe, okay? Who, has one T cell left, okay? You went to see a fucking show?
A musical, no less.
Yeah. It's amazing. And they think they're better than you, that you're the crazy. And
Judy, they learned everything they needed to know at Rent. What could they possibly learn from you?
Well, no, I'm just saying in general, they are not them, like I'm saying, these straight white people who are like, I'm going to hire you. You're my little court jester. Don't offend me. I just got a gig canceled too. Another gig.
Showbiz.
This ID politics, this political. What are we going to do? Because I feel like our community is split.
Well, not to segue into the show.
We're going to get to the show.
Well, no, but in the show.
How about how I've hit a lot of items that are in the show or topics item?
Yeah, showbiz.
Yeah.
But I do sing an original song called Just Me, and it's a response to that. Who is it?
No, it's my friend Kate. No, it's got to be one of my kids. That's the only conversation.
Is that Kate Ripa?
Kate Ryan, my writing partner.
Showbiz.
I kind of want to say showbiz all the time now. Yeah, go ahead.
It's a very Jewish thing to say.
Showbiz!
It's very catchy, too.
Yeah. So, go ahead. I'm sorry. So you do an original song that you wrote?
Yeah. All the songs we wrote. Mark Shaman. Jewish.
I love Mark Shaman.
He wrote one of them, too.
His husband's hot. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, if you're into that kind of thing, Judy.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Go ahead.
Showbiz. Is that, people always from day one, press, interviewer, colleagues, kids, what do you identify? Are you drag queen? Are you a drag king? Are you drag queen? People still call me a fucking drag queen.
Right.
Trans match. And I've never wanted, and I've never believed in it. It's a political thing for me.
Right.
To be labeled by my sexuality or in any way.
Right.
I always do say, I'm just me, Murray.
Right.
So, it does seem crazy political now to just say that, but I'm not gonna,
right.
I don't believe in it.
I don't either,
and I think it does fragment our community.
Yeah, but it's just it's the I teach, right, and then I just got an email. When the people introduce themselves in the class, they have to say what pronoun. Really? Just like, why does everyone have to say that? Just say, listen, I just want you to know, can you call me blank? And that's it. No one fucking cares.
Yeah. My pronoun is showbiz.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm searching.
Yeah, asshole. L.A., you went to, I've heard you speak about, because you've went to Sydney Opera House.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've had some fucking amazing gigs.
Yeah, I've been working at it.
And, I feel like finally you have like these amazingly, talented and well-connected people going, It's Murray's turn. I mean, I'm waiting for it's Judy's turn, but don't you feel that a little bit? Like you're getting a little validated and by the right people. I mean, doesn't it feel better to have like Mark Shaman and Scott Whitman and like going, oh my God, I love this guy, instead of these fucking like the acceptance of the white fuck faces that were. Oh, sorry, I just hit the mic and it almost fell. The white fuck faces that you perform for?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I've been doing this for so long. And not to segue back to the show, but it's called About to Break.
The show is about to break.
Good. So, but it also
it's
means
at Joe's Pub.
I'm about to break.
Right.
Like I've been doing this for so long. If I don't get the break now, I'm going to die.
No, you're not, because I haven't gotten the break yet.
No, but that's how it's been for me.
Right. But that's
I've been in the ring so long,
right?
That
I've been in it longer, Murray.
A little bit longer.
Look at me. Look at me.
You look younger than I do.
No, I don't.
But I've been the next big thing for the last 20 years.
Right.
So that's kind of.
Do you feel like now all these performance artists, these trans do you feel like you're like whoa, wait a minute, no. Like, move out of the fucking way. Because it's such an ageist business as well.
Oh, yeah.
That I feel like there's all these non-binary and blah, blah, blah. One of my friends is non-binary only because she doesn't want to get dressed up. I swear to God, because she has the worst clothes in the entire world. But do you feel sometimes like you want to just go, get out of the way?
Well, there's room for everybody. I've always felt that. But showbiz. But, it's sometimes when, someone came up to me and they're like, oh my God, I'm doing this project on gender fluidity and and I'm playing this character. And then I'm just like, because I do come from, the feminist performance art thing where the personal is political. So I've been this subject.
Right.
I've lived it on the streets. I've gone to the opera house and performed in front of straight people, for the whole time I've been doing this. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to go do a gender project now.
Right.
Because that's what's cool.
Right.
So there's a little. Sometimes I'm like, oh God.
But you've often talked about L.A., which is.
I do like it. Don't hate me for that.
No, I don't hate it in L.A. But it's interesting as a comic. When I'm here, I'd rather work on my act here than in L.A. I'd rather do all the work here.
Yeah.
And then their audiences are different because they're waiting for Jim from the new show on, Netflix to come on the stage. And you know what I mean?
Yeah, LA, you got to work a little different. But it's good to have the New York chops, in your bag for that.
You have done you've performed at parties for my mentor, and Joan Rivers.
Love her.
Oh, she's the best.
I'm a student of Joan Rivers.
Same. The best. And the work ethic of, as Colin used to say, a Chinese immigrant. Okay, so
and you know what? She's also anytime, and I get so pissed off when people are like, "Oh, she's so crass at the end," And it's like they just didn't know the history of comedy, first of all,
right?
But she is the most generous, and so is Rickles.
Kind.
She paid for her piano player's rehab at her side gigs. That's just one thing.
I know. Oh no, and you know how she was a good person when they were all lined up on Fifth Avenue. Melissa bought everyone. First of all, the people who were holding vigil, she bought them all pizza, and then for the funeral, and there were hundreds and hundreds of people waiting, and she bought them all donuts and coffee and breakfast. I mean, but that was Joan.
Yeah,
I mean, Joan was
absolutely.
amazing. Liza Minnelli.
Love Liza.
Yeah. Here's the interesting one. Ivana Trump.
Well, back in the 90s, they were on the party circuit.
Right.
I never met Donald, but she was out all the time.
Right.
So, I would, I still do showbiz celebrity parties.
Right.
She was there. There's pictures and all that kind of stuff.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Was she nice?
Yeah. She was always nice. And she came, believe it or not, she came to my Miss Les pageant.
Oh, yes. You did have the Miss Les pageant.
At the Fez.
Right.
So to have Ivana Trump there, and then the next table over was Kathleen Hanna.
Wow.
The founder pretty much of the Riot Girl movement. So it was like a trip. It was really
wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, showbiz.
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 I have menopause in here. I'm fucking sweating.
All right, we're closing it up.
No, it's just the sweat.
So all right. So your show. This is unlike any other show that you've done at this Joe's Pub show. Is it because you got the grant and you were like, oh God, I gotta fucking really do this?
Well, I've always wanted to do it, but
scared.
Not necessarily scared. I'm like one of those, I'm like the Derek Jeter of comedy. I'm always working.
Right.
Always touring, always gigging. So I've never like stopped to actually
live.
Write. Yeah, that too. But write like a show and like have resources.
Right,
what Joe's did was give me time.
Right.
And, supported us to get, Scott and all these other people involved. So now it's like, I'm been in this for so long. This is like my, senior citizen show.
Right. Now, full band?
Full band.
When did you know you could sing?
I've been singing from day one.
Right.
Now, Judy, this is going to be controversial.
Okay. I can handle it.
And I've been saying it out loud lately and to quiet crickets. But, I say this, I've been getting called a drag queen even more lately. And I was at Wigstock, and I was the only one that wasn't a drag queen. So, I went on stage and said, hey, just so you know, I'm not a drag queen.
Right.
I don't do drag.
Right.
Why would you do that? It's total waste of time.
Right.
And it's a cry for help. And then I said, I don't lip sync. I use my voice. I fought hard to use my voice. I don't sing well, but I
sing.
I sing
with fucking heart and soul.
With my voice.
Yeah.
It's like.
Oh, yeah, you can't. Yeah.
I would love, I'm not bitter, but wouldn't my life be a lot easier if I could just lip sync Whitney Houston songs?
I know.
All of ours would be.
But when I see the drag queens go on in P-Town before me, and I just, because I get dressed, I go over my notes, I get my set together, blah, blah, I go to work, and then I'm done. When I see that they have to get their hours and just to put on fucking makeup and fake boobs, and
most drag queens don't have an act,
right?
So
the ones a lot of them do have an act, but I know what you're saying. Now RuPaul was very helpful to you as well. No,
he's friendly with me.
Yeah, I mean.
I do interviews all the time now, like, shouldn't you be on RuPaul's thing, or shouldn't they do a drag king? And and people, I think some press have wanted me to throw him under the bus because of his trans comments.
No, first of all, he's the first person to put like drag queens on television. Like, shut up.
Yeah, and I feel like that. I'm not going to trash him. He's done so much.
Right.
He's made an economy for drag queens.
Right.
And, I don't think it's his responsibility to reach out and pull me up. I mean, that would be great if he did. We know each other, but, that's not his, he's not the Messiah.
Did you hear that comment about, because RuPaul said he didn't want transgendered women on. He wanted drag queens.
Right.
And I see the difference. There is, you know what I mean? One's play acting. And one is this is who you are. And it is different, don't you think, or no?
I do.
Okay. Well, you're straight. So you don't know what it's like to
difficult.
have this fucking pit in your stomach your whole life going, what's wrong with me?
Who am I?
What's wrong with me? I'm very excited for your show. It's at Joe's Pub.
6 nights, Judy.
It's only 6 nights?
Only? That's a lot.
No, I mean, is it 6 nights a week, or is it
it's 3 nights starting Thursday.
Okay.
And then next weekend. And we have a script. It's 30 pages long.
I fucking love it.
All original songs.
Love it.
And Scott Whitman's making me, we're rehearsing.
I know.
And reading it. I've read the script out loud about 5 times already, which is, that's new.
Yeah.
I usually do it the day before.
It's hard work. Yeah. It's hard work.
Yeah, a lot of stuff in there.
JG, do you have any more questions? And before we go to my 2 questions I ask all of our guests.
I would like to ask the following.
A follow-up or the following?
The following.
The following could also be construed as a follow-up. But you have a very particular aesthetic. Where does it come from? Is it modeled after someone that you know? Is it modeled after someone that when you came in, you made reference to the shirt that you're wearing, which is plastic.
Yeah, it's polyester, very hot.
And so you have to. Where do you shop? How do you? The stuff that you have seems vintage-ish, but maybe you may have it made.
And also, you have 7,000 ties or over 7,000 ties. Is that correct?
Yeah, I have so many. It's crazy.
And are those all vintage? Those are all...
The ties are all polyester vintage.
That's amazing.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah, like when somebody's Jewish grandfather dies, they'll send me their ties.
But you're making a choice in the way that you dress, and did that start early? I mean, has it morphed? Is it changed?
It's it comes from a couple different places, but you're not going to believe this, but I'm half Italian.
What?
So
what's the other half?
Irish.
I knew it. Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah. Boston.
Yeah.
So, I look like a short Italian guy. Like when I dress like that. Like from when I was a kid, when we would go to funerals, they were a blast because all these guys would be wearing these 5'4" chubby Italian guys. My grandfather looks like Murray, and my uncle looked like Murray. So I think it's unconsciously,
Right.
But I'm just drawn to like the 70s Vegas suits.
Right.
And the stuff I've worn in the last couple of years, it's all custom made.
Oh, that's great.
But they're custom made to look like Jerry Lewis's, 70s, when they did the roast and all. It's like the big lapel and all that kind of stuff.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that look. And
this is the Palm Springs look, daytime look.
We're casual.
It's early.
And does anyone ever stop you on the street and is like, what the fuck's... Like, do people...
Always. Now, I have this insane plaid suit that's like... Oh, I wore it to the
wedding.
wedding.
Yeah, you wore it. I love that wedding. I love that.
showstopper.
I love that suit.
I was walking down the street in Avenue, and people... And it wasn't Halloween or anything like that.
Right.
And this big SUV comes up and slows down in front of me. And then, just being Catholic and, being gay, I was like, oh, God, this is the time. This is going to be it. I'm dead. I'm going to get gay bashed. Right? So the window comes down. Pot smoke rolls out, and this guy goes, gold rings, gold teeth.
Yeah,
that suit's dope, man. And it goes up, and they drive away.
I love that.
Now that was validating.
That is.
Do you ever feel like you're unsafe? Like
always
walking, that people are gonna bash? Yeah, you do. That's terrible.
Yeah, and I that's probably a whole nother show, but I think that's what. Annoys me when the young kids talk about the ID stuff. And it's like, I'm walking on the street, not in New York, in Lynchburg, Virginia, in Sydney, Australia, in Brisbane, Australia, in Ohio, in Florida. It's like, and all the shows I did with Dita Von Teese for 8 years, that's all straight everything.
I feel like that too, because I get criticized by the Jews a lot. And I'm like, you know what? I go to Alabama and talk about being Jewish.
And we do field work.
Yeah. And being a les and it's like, fuck you. Who the fuck are you? Good for you. Yeah, it's really, I find it, these people live in their little safe fucking whatever.
They're white privileged male bubbles.
Done.
Yeah.
I'm just so done with that. But Murray, if you have to get up and go, in the middle of the night to go get, cough medicine, do you put on like a polyester shirt, or will you dress down?
No, I wear a tracksuit in Brooklyn, for real.
Like a Joey Buttafuoco?
Yeah,
I love it.
I do.
All right, just checking. And
showbiz.
What about love in your life?
Oh, Judy,
I want you to have a nice.
I just got in trouble for this because I was on Amy Schumer's podcast.
Yeah.
And the theme was love, and of course I didn't even know that because it was 9:00 in the morning. And a few of my exes were like, "Oh, so yeah, I didn't like what you said on the podcast." But anyway, I had a wife for a long time.
For how long?
9 years.
Wow.
And that got blown up by my destructive behavior.
Right.
And then I've had a bunch of.
So you're taking responsibility for that?
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I've had a bunch of interesting relationships since then. It's not a strength, Judy.
Yeah, but Murray must get girls on the road.
I do all right for myself, Judy.
All right.
Yeah.
That's nice. I like
showbiz.
Nice.
Nice. Murray, we ask our guests, I ask these two questions always because I suffer from anxiety and depression and we're very positive about mental health. So do you or have you ever taken antidepressants?
Hell yeah.
All right. I knew it.
Well, I'm also somebody, I don't necessarily talk about it publicly because nobody really asks me about it, but I have no shame about it.
Same.
And I have tons of friends and colleagues and strangers that ask me about it, and I'm always for getting any help that you need.
I agree. What are you on right now, may I ask?
Prozac.
Oh, really?
It's a game changer. But I've been on stuff forever, so
I know, me too. I've been on everything, but I don't like this combo I'm on now. Wellbutrin and Effexor, and I feel like I cannot fucking sleep. And I take trazodone to sleep, and I just want to fucking.
I used to take that, but it's
that
heavy.
Combo.
No, it's heavy. The trazodone the next day.
But now I only take a little bit of it, but I'm really fucking sick of the Effexor is like. Shut up.
I had to go off that.
Just because you're emotionally healthy.
That seems like something you don't need. Anything that makes you.
I know.
Go,
Plus, I drink like 12 cups of coffee a day.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Showbiz.
Okay, and then our final question, because it is Kill Me Now. What pisses you off the most? Like, what pisses you off more than anything in the entire world? Like, gets you fucking angry?
Oh, I do get angry sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not that cool.
No, it doesn't matter.
Cigarette smoke.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
No, I'm like crazy town about it.
Right.
I'm like, really?
Did you ever smoke?
I did.
Yeah.
And my parents smoked, but I cannot tolerate it.
Well, also, when you're walking down the street and there's all the people who are like standing in front of their office building smoking, and they just fucking blow it in your fucking face. It's the worst.
You know what else is worse, Judy?
What?
The people that make noise when they're chewing. Like,
Oh,
I
actually
can't. Like, there's like new levels of OCD come out of me on those things.
My friend Kate, who's also my writing partner, is like, right, and it's constant like, and I go, Kate, what? Seriously? She's like, my mouth is really small, and it's really hard for me, and I'm like, no, it's not. It's like everyone has different, like, no. So like last night her and her partner came over and we were watching this fucking movie called Holy Hell.
Don't know it.
Oh, it's about a cult. It was ridiculous. Anyway, and Kate's like, we ordered in Chinese, and Kate's like,
no, please, I can't even hear you do it right now. Though.
And I'm just like, Kate. She's like, I'm really working on it. I'm really working. And my neighbor's kid chews with her mouth open. Her name's Lucy, and I call her Lucy Chew Loud. Lucy Chew. I hate that.
No, I can't. Don't even do it again.
All right, sorry.
Trigger,
I hate it.
Trigger.
I hate it too. Murray, you're fucking fantastic.
You're fantastic.
I love
okay.
you. Yeah, JJ's pretty good, huh?
I'll accept that. Just okay.
No, you got your golf uniform on.
Yeah.
You're doing great, buddy.
He's so. Ugh.
Looks like a white Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Without
I hope
the
you
scandal.
get as much. I know. I hope you get as much. Murray, where can people find you on social media?
Oh, I love it. I'm actually not on Facebook that much because ever since Trump got elected, I just can't handle it.
Oh,
so
I can't.
I'm all over
Yeah.
Instagram.
Oh, you are?
At MURRAY_Hill, HILL. I'm on Instagram all the time. I love it.
I do a lot of Tweetar, but now
I'm
I
on
feel
Twitter,
like
too.
I'm on Tweetar and everyone's on Instagram, and I just don't feel like taking pictures all the fucking time.
Yeah, I like the visuals, and it's not as hateful.
Right.
Twitter is still a lot about Trump too, which I can't.
Right.
I just don't want to see it.
All right. So is your Twitter name the same as your? It's
Murray
Hill.
Hill.
And it's AY, not just it's MURAY_Hill.
That's right.
Okay.
And if you send me a note, I'll like you.
Oh, that's nice.
Very
All
nice.
right.
Just for your listeners.
The
Yeah.
Instagram is going to be a good follow because of your visual arts background.
Oh yeah, that's
I bet
right.
your
That's
photos
why you're
are
visual.
great.
This guy's
And,
good. It's
yeah.
connecting the dots. This
Yeah.
guy.
And I'm
Bring it
more.
all the way back around.
Yeah, and I'm more, words and screaming. So, Murray, thank you so fucking much.
Thank you, Judy. Judy, I've been a fan of yours since Homo Comicus when I first saw you in the 90s.
Really?
Yeah, that's when I
Thank
first
you.
saw you.
Thank you.
I was like, she's funny. You're like you're the most reminiscent of my favorite kind of comedy, which is Catskills comedy.
Yeah, and like
Not many
Sophie
people like
Tucker
that.
and
Broads.
Yeah, broads.
Toady
I'm a broad.
Fields.
Toady, I love Toady, Sophie, but Toady's the fucking best. Toady's the
best.
fuck. Now I'm gonna watch her HBO special again because we
So
mentioned
good.
it. 'Cause it's
So good.
Thank you so much for coming in.
A pleasure. Showbiz.
And we'll be right back.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and you know, sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, you know, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome. Well, JJ, Murray just left. This is our new segment we're doing called Postmortem, where JJ and I discuss the interview and JJ criticizes me. So
yeah,
go ahead. Did you take notes?
I took a few. There were some interesting things I thought that happened in the course of that interview. I will say I felt like it went a tad long. You might have been a little bit repetitive. Just saying. You may have pushed a little hard in the areas of his past.
I know, because that's what I'm fascinated by. Oh, fuck you. All right, yeah, and
but I think it's my only real criticism, except even though no one sees you.
Yeah.
The people in here see you.
Yeah.
And biting your nails while you're doing the
I
interview.
was not biting.
Is fucking disgusting.
I did
Look
not.
at them. Yes, you did.
I
yes,
did not.
You did.
And it's my cuticle. I did not.
Gross.
Fuck.
Now, here's something I thought that was interesting.
Maybe once.
I didn't
right,
bring it up, but I did feel like there was an absolute connection between your story, Judy Gold's story, and Murray Hill's story.
Yes.
In this regard, that the thing that she said, he said, oh, God, I'm such an asshole.
Good.
The thing that he said that I found where this connection was, like you, when I first saw you go on stage, the remarkable thing for those who've never seen Judy go on stage, and I strongly recommend it,
thank you,
is the way that you can connect with an audience and the way that you can destroy an audience.
Right.
I mean, absolutely go after and berate them, but I'd never seen that from a female comic before.
Right.
And not that it should feel entirely
that's
unique,
interesting.
you know,
yeah.
but it does. It's and the things that Murray was saying, I think, are similar in that he likes that interaction. He wants to go after people, and that you both, Joan Rivers, and the comics of that ilk, you know, are what he finds inspiration from, and you must have too. I mean, it's
absolutely,
so
because it's like no pretense. It's like I'm not going to make a, you know, and fuck you.
And fuck you.
Yeah.
Really, that should just be the way every show ends.
And fuck you. But you know how I always end the show?
No.
Yeah, I end it with something my mother always said. You want to hear that?
So long.
Yep. As we always say. Thank you for listening. Oh, wait. We're going to put the times of it's next. Well, you'll see.
Yeah,
our
this
show.
weekend and next week.
Yeah, next week, yeah.
Look
at Joe's Pub.
Joe's
Look
Pub.
it up, Murray Hill. But as we always say, so long!
And everything was wonderful. I'll see you soon. Thank you for the visit. So long.